Well, good morning everyone. It's a beautiful day out here today. I'm just getting in a nice canoe paddle before the weather takes a turn and we get some rain and some heavy wind. So I'm going to be paddling up here in this marsh. Birds are singing. It's a gorgeous morning. Come along with me for a relaxing paddle and chat. Hear that? That's the sound of the pie-billed grebe calling, doing this little mating call here just outside the marsh. So we're off to a good start. I think we're going to see and hear lots of birds today. I'm really excited. Today you guys can see I am paddling with a kayak paddle. So I'm solo in my little canoe, my little wild yam canoe that you guys have seen over the years that I restored. And I'm going to try paddling in a different way this year when I'm solo because it's just so much nicer, I think, with the kayak paddle. I know some of you see Justin Barber and 13 Prevail using the kayak paddle, you know, for their boats, and it's really awesome actually. Allows me to sort of focus and really enjoy versus focusing so much on my steering and things like that. So right now I've got the, I picked up from Cabela's the Ascend kayak paddle. It's their Trek model, and I really like it. It's super light. Got a little bit larger paddle so I can use it for other boats as well. But super light, easy, you know, to navigate around this little marshy area here. It just backs onto some farm fields. It's really beautiful. Especially good on a windy day like today when you really got to dig in to kind of get paddling. I also picked up a new boat bag this year from Cabela's. You can get it at Bass Pro Shops as well. It's a boat bag. It carries all my gear. It's, as you can see, it's waterproof. So very handy, especially with the kayak paddle. You are bringing in, there it is, a bit of water into the canoe. So it's, I wouldn't say it's like super waterproof, like, you know, the like the seams. It's not meant to be like a complete dry bag, but what it does do is it holds all my stuff in here and just kind of splash proof. It's got that nice coating on it there. So I've got all my stuff. It's quick and easy to go. It's really nice. There's no bugs out right now. Just me and the birds. This is the direction we're heading. Well, I'm in the quieter area of the marsh right now. The wind's really picking up, so I apologize for wind noise in today's video. It's beautiful in here, as you can see around me. So in this area of the marsh, you can see a lot of red osier dogwood. You can kind of see the little red stems there along the shore. Got lots of sedges, alders. You hear mallards quacking. Red-winged blackbirds, obviously, is their favorite haunt. Of course, the Canada geese up ahead. The cattails aren't quite up yet. Obviously, this is last year's cattails, but they'll be up soon. Cattails are edible, so this is time to scout out for spring foraging. So taking a look at, you know, where the cattails are, taking a look at, you know, spots where you might want to go for mushroom foraging, and of course, fiddleheads. So this area is really rich in fiddleheads. Geese are going crazy, which are the young form of the ostrich fern, and they're really tasty. I've done a few videos on harvesting and eating those. So yeah, it's going to be very soon that those will be coming up. The soil's not quite warm enough yet for them, but not too much longer. The sun's trying to peek through the clouds there. A lot of maples in here. Sometimes when I've paddled through here, I think, oh, I could set up some maple taps. And really cool, as I was just heading out here on my little canoe paddle, just by the put in there, I saw a mink. And that mink was in a video that I made several years ago. And it's the same animal, I'm sure of it. They have their own little territories and stuff like that, and sort of very tame, sort of came up and looked at me and stuff like that. So that's really neat. It was like a little welcome back to this paddling area. Don't know about you, but for me, I felt sort of out of shape the last couple of years. You know, doing a lot of activity, but, you know, I just feel out of shape. So this past weekend, I went on a canoe race, a 12-kilometer canoe race, and there was some white water, which was very, very exciting. So it felt really good to get back at it again. I really think I'm going to do a lot more paddling this spring. I want to get my neck, my back in a bit better shape than it has been over the last couple of years. You know, I've just done a lot of hiking and things like that, but I really want to get back into the paddling. I didn't do enough of it last year and I really missed it. So that's why I'm trying my new setup with the kayak paddle. And you know, if you haven't paddled a solo canoe with a kayak paddle, I'm really enjoying it so far this morning. It's going really well, especially in these really strong winds. You can kind of dig in like a regular canoe paddle, but you can also steer a little bit better when these big gusts of wind come up. If you take a look over here, you can see the trees are, you know, sitting in the water here. So this area is a fen, and it floods out every spring. So you'll see all these trees that are used to being in really high water. You can see the beautiful buds here on this tree. Things are coming in beautifully. I hear an owl in the distance over there. I'm gonna pop on my Merlin app and see what it is. Well, I think that owl's a little bit too far away. I love the Merlin app, but the one thing about it is that you have to be fairly close for it to pick up the sound, or the bird has to be pretty loud. So I can hear this soft like whoo, whoo, whoo in the distance. So really neat. Maybe I'll, you know, when I paddle a little bit closer, maybe we'll see if we can get another pickup on that one. But I really do need a parabolic mic. You see this tree over here? There's a hole in the trunk. Just right there as it enters the screen. So lots of things like to live in this fen. It's a pretty decent hole. You know, maybe an owl or something, or a raccoon family lives in there. Just a big part of that maple. Lots of maples in here, actually. Lots of really old maples. That's a big old one right there. You could probably put 3 or 4 taps in that. Well, thankfully we're into a quieter part of the fen. Goose flying overhead. Wind seems to have died down. The water's really glassy. So I'd like to get more fit this spring. Really get back into it. I feel like a little bit, you know, I don't know about you guys, but the last couple of years, just a little bit stuck, you know, just kind of treading water. So now it's time to kind of move on safely and, you know, enjoy as much of life as possible. Get outdoors. That's the safest place to be, obviously. And I just love hearing the sounds of spring and seeing the sights of spring, seeing things, you know, emerging, waking up. The nice smells, nice fresh air. Tell me what you guys, what you like to do in spring. What's your favorite activity? Is it like biking? Is it paddling, fishing? I'm gonna get back doing some of that soon as well. Didn't want to do any fishing today. I felt that, you know, with the wind and just focusing on my paddling, it wouldn't be a fun go. But I think I might do some spring crappie fishing. Might be a good idea. Give me any of your fishing tips for panfish down below in the comments. Always appreciate your opinions. I don't know about you, but here, you know, seeing that Canada goose reminds me that we have a big problem with highly pathogenic bird flu coming in on the migratory birds. I know in the States there's a huge issue. We're having some of them coming up here with the avian flu. It doesn't seem to be affecting people for now, thank goodness, but the birds have been heavily impacted. So a lot of deaths. I've even hearing it's going through the bald eagle population, which is really sad. You guys know we've got lots of bald eagles up at the cabin, and the populations are doing really well. So a little worrisome about that, about the bird flu. Hopefully that gets over quickly and doesn't mutate or turn into anything that is more dangerous. But anyway, it's also a risk for people that have backyard chickens and backyard birds. So my quail, you know, they are indoors, so they are, you know, not to say that that's, you know, a way to not catch it, but it is airborne for them. So we'll see. Hopefully they're okay. The girls are still doing well, as I mentioned in previous videos. But it means that I may not be getting birds this spring. Right now, recommending just kind of holding off, you know, on getting eggs or birds, because if it does go through, say, person's flock where you're getting the birds from, then you could end up infecting your whole flock and then they die. So I don't know, take it day by day. They're saying at least the end of June, not to introduce birds until the spring migration is kind of complete. But I don't know, we'll see. I'll play it by ear and kind of decide where to go from there. Look how glassy this water is. Oh, it's amazing in here. Just have enough tree cover not to get all this wind. Actually, as I'm getting closer to this hooting noise, I think it's actually a mourning dove, so not an owl. False alarm. Yeah, I heard the rest of the call there and I'm thinking, okay, that's not an owl, that's a mourning dove. Now I'm getting closer to it. Mourning doves, I don't know if you guys know, but they are like the worst nesters. I don't know if you've ever seen a mourning dove nest, but they just literally, you know, sometimes they're nesting in a conifer or wherever they are, and they'll literally just put a few little ramshackle sticks together and, you know, lay a couple of eggs, and sometimes they just fall through the nest, or, you know, it falls apart and they have to rebuild the nest. It's a little bit of a it's pretty funny if you see their nest. It's amazing that they actually you know, survive. The young actually survive because their parents don't do a great job with nest building. And of course, a lot of predators like to eat eggs, you know, crows and squirrels and raccoons. So yeah, it's pretty funny to see their nests. Sometimes in here you'll end up seeing nests of herons. So they kind of form like a community, like a rookery. So they have multiple nests in some of the willows and things like that. It's a favorite nesting area for them on these marshes. You'll see, you know, like dozens of nests. It's pretty amazing. There's some areas where you can actually, there's just a documented area, they go back every year. I'm not seeing any of them in this spot right now, but I know they are around in this marsh. But very, very interesting, the communal nesting that some of these birds do. And then some of them, of course, are just individuals. I'm looking forward to, in this area, seeing the Baltimore Orioles come back. We definitely, they're in like an orange and black bird. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Beautiful birds. They have a really unique nest. It's kind of like a teardrop shape. And you'll see those birds flitting around the tops of the trees, eating insects and things like that. Really, really gorgeous birds. And you quite often will see a lot of them in here, and they'll be calling. There's a pie-billed grebe again. So yeah, really neat, very photogenic birds, and hopefully we'll see some, you know, some other beautiful spring migrants. Some of them are just really transient, you know, they're here and then they're gone. The Orioles, I find, aren't here for too much longer. They're in, you know, May usually, so not just, well, next, well, geez, really coming up, really close on May, a couple weeks. We're going to have the Orioles here. There's a bird right there. You can see it very camouflaged. Oh, that looks like we got a mallard. Very cool. Gosh, you really have to look to see it. And of course the loons will be back soon. That's one of my favorite birds, obviously, is the loon. And you know, there's mergansers. Those are beautiful ducks as well, especially the hooded ones. They're really, really neat. The mergansers are actually unique in that they seem to adopt other peers to adopt other chicks from, you know, during the nesting season. So sometimes you'll see one mother merganser with like 26 babies popping around behind her. So that's really neat. If any of you guys know more about that, let me know down below in the comments. See, there's a bit of current in here. It's sort of taking me along. Got some spring camping already planned for May, so really excited about that. Going to be heading back to one of the lakes that I went on last year. I really, really enjoyed it. Very, very peaceful part of the countryside. And we'll start off by doing that. But I think we'll be the black fly season then, so I'm going to have to bring out my bug suit. Definitely in here, in this fen, this marshland area, you're going to need a bug shirt in the next month. It's going to be really, really bad in here. But I'll dust off my bug shirt. My Canadian bug shirt, made up in Powassan, actually, by North Bay. That shirt is awesome. If you're looking for really good you know, gear for the spring, definitely bug shirt is worth it. And I use my Piactive bug spray. I think that one's the best. It doesn't mess up your plastic, so if you're fishing and stuff like that, you can touch your glasses, touch your fishing line, it doesn't mess it up. I think it's picaridin. Sometimes I spray a little bit of on the dog's tail, because poor guy, the black flies seem to tunnel into his tail. I don't know about you guys, but my guy certainly gets bitten alive by the bugs. Also, ticks are out, speaking of bugs, so make sure you know, you guys are really careful. A lot of Lyme disease around. And I was reading some study online about some reported ticks across, I think it was Ontario, and even seeing some other, you know, tick-borne diseases coming in, like anaplasma and babesia. You know, some things that can really mess one's body up, including Lyme disease. So I think it's going to get worse with how temperatures have been, and winters have been warmer, not, you know, killing off the insects as much. They just overwinter in the leaf litter, and off they go. As soon as it's a little bit warm outside again, you know, above 4 Celsius, they start wiggling around and wanting to have a blood meal. So be careful, protect you, protect your pets. Don't want anybody to get sick this season outdoors. Be safe. Hear the flickers out too. The frogs are quiet today. The last time I was in here, I could hear some leopard frogs and some green frogs. They're one of the first few that call, along with the spring peepers. Then we eventually get to the bullfrogs as things get a little bit warmer. And the toads, of course. Yeah, this is so relaxing. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this little paddle and chat as much as I am. I hope you can hear some of the sounds of the marsh. But I know it's hard without a really good microphone system like a parabolic mic to pick it up really, really clearly. With this kayak paddle, you can get going at a really good clip too, which is nice. Just find it actually more enjoyable. I'm really glad I'm doing this. We had a really bad windstorm a little while ago there, lots of trees down. To get back to the cabin and make sure that everything's okay, we're going to have to do a little bit of tree work this year, I think, to just make sure the cabin stays safe and we don't find it cut in half. That would always be the worst situation. Oh my lord. Would not want that. A little bit of sun is nice, eh? Just gonna go and explore over here. Lots of red osier dogwood shrubs in here. Yeah, look at them all lining the shore there. Dogwood is great food for the birds. Birds are soaring on the little thermals there. Lots of willow in here too. Let's take a look. You can see the beautiful green stems there of this willow. So if you're into basket making, like I've been trying to do, there you go. Now, you don't want to take it right now, it's about to leaf out, but willow's really good. See, it's really bendy. One of these days I want to make willow furniture. I think it'd be great. You can see all through here, lots of willow, lots of dogwood. You can even weave some dogwood in there too, get that beautiful red color. You know, it's really nice out here. It's so tranquil. It's just, you know, finding your inner peace out here. Oh, it's so worth it just to take even an hour of your time to get outdoors and enjoy yourself. Definitely hear some frogs there. That's beautiful. Well, this paddle has been awesome. I'm so glad to be out today, just decompressing in nature. I think it's what we all need to do at this point in time. Nothing like a beautiful spring paddle to help you just unwind. So thanks so much for joining me today. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Take care.